In this video, we're now going to take a look at problem 2 of the SOLIDWORKS student practice package. And problem 2 looks like this. Make sure you're following along and have this open so you can look along with. And let's break this down. So again, let's look, we need to be an MMGS. It's going to be made out of ductile iron, and it can be made using only 3 features. So pause this video, take a second to think about this and see if you can decide what 3 features you could make this out of before I go over how to do that. So pause right now and give that a try. Okay, so I would break this down and I would look at it again from the side, similar to the last problem. And I would sketch this one big section first and do that as an extrusion. Then I would do this smaller stair step and extrude that. And then I would extrude the 2 bumps on the top, and that should get me to 3 features, and that should be the most efficient way to do it. So let's break it down. Let's start making it. Again, going in, making sure that on the bottom right we're in MMGS, not IPS. Then let's go to features, or sorry, sketch. And let's start sketching on the front plane. And let's see, I am going to open this side by side in my other monitor so that I can see. Here we go. Okay. Or actually, I'm going to have it open here so we can see together. Even though it's less efficient, that's okay. So I'm going to sketch just the general outline of this shape that I want. So it's going to go up, diagonal, down, and around. Okay. I'm just going to use the line tool. I'm going to start sketching at the origin to make sure I can fully define my part. I always need something connected to the origin. I'm going to start by sketching upward, make sure we're vertical, horizontal. I'm going to go up at an angle. I'm going to keep this perpendicular. So notice how when I'm sketching this, I'm keeping my line perpendicular, just like that. And then, oh, whoops, disconnected. So I'm going to get my line tool in there, keeping everything perpendicular and lined up. If you don't keep it perpendicular, you'll end up with something like this. There we go. Which it's not a huge issue, but then we'll just have to go back and select each of these to make them parallel. So that's a little bit annoying. It's easier just to sketch it right the first time. So again, I'm going to undo, go back, make sure I'm lining everything up with the guidelines to make everything perpendicular. There we go. And everything is lined up. Perfect. I'm just going to open it up side by side to make sure it looks similar, and it does. I'm going to start by setting this angle of 65 degrees. So smart dimension from this line down to this line should be 65. Then the bottom edge, I think it's 78. If I'm not mistaken. Let's double check. Yep, 78 across the bottom there. The height of this divot in here is 36. So from here down to here is 36. And it looks like these two are even with each other. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to make that 36 as well, because it shows this line across that they're even with each other. So I'm going to set this line, hold control, click on this line, and make those two equal so that it stays even with each other. The other thing we could have done is just set the dimension of this line to there, but it's better to use relations when we can to keep our sketch less messy. Okay, and the width of that divot is 5. So smart dimension from one side to the other should be 5 inches. Whoops. 5. Yep. There we go. And let's see what else we can add in here. The width of this top one is 15. So let's add that in. Smart dimension. Make sure we're going diagonal too. Don't go straight up like that or across like that. Make sure we're measuring the right thing. 15. What else can we add in here? I think that about does it. I'm going to add in these. Oh, the height is 58. So we can use this drawing to see the height, which is 58. So from the bottom to the top, 58. There we go. And then it should also tell me the height of this section here. And it tells me it's a midpoint. So it's pointing with an arrow there. It says midpoint. And it tells me the height of this section, which is 16. Since I know this is the midpoint of 16, I can easily say 16 divided by 2 will be where that line is. So that should be 8. So I should be able to measure this to be 8. You can also make SolidWorks do the math for you. You can just write in here, you can type 16 divided by 2. And just like that, we have 8. And from there, I think that about does it. As we see from this drawing that we have all of our dimensions there so far, but it's still not fully defined. So that lets us know that we have to keep adding dimensions. So I went through and I'm double checking that I have all them, and I do. And the only ones I'm missing are the ones related to this stair step. So I know that I needed to sketch in this stair step to help get my part fully defined. So let's do that, and then we'll show how to extrude those separately in a little bit. Okay, let's start with the line tool and sketch out this stair step. Again, being careful to make the lines horizontal and vertical. Boom. Being careful not to connect to any center points like this one here. Be really careful about where we're connecting these bits. Okay, now let's smart dimension the top edge. I forgot what this one was, 16 and 24. Okay, so this top one is 16, this next one 24, and then I remember this total height is 16, so I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, set that to be 16, and then this final edge needs to be 18 high. Okay. Whoops, I did the wrong one. Okay. Smart dimension, this one should be 18. 18, and done. And we can see now our part is fully defined. We just had to add in that final section there to make sure we had all our dimensions there. So go through, double check that all your dimensions match here, that we have all our lines, including the stair step, in position there. Now when you go to features and extrude, we have two sections that we can extrude. So we want to make sure that we only extrude one of the sections. So we're going to extrude the big section first. So click on it to extrude it. And the distance we're going to extrude that is 28 millimeters. Oops. 28. Okay, so there we go, we got that. But now we'll see that our sketch disappears. That's okay, we can easily bring it back by clicking on this arrow next to Boss Extrude, clicking on the sketch button, clicking the show button, which is this eyeball. And then now we're going to create a new sketch and bring in these lines into our new sketch. So click sketch, we're going to sketch on the front plane again, because again that lines up with the back of our part, similar to the last exercise. So sketch on the front plane, then we're going to use a tool called Convert Entities, one of our sketch tools. Convert Entities allows us to choose edges that exist from either a previous sketch or a previous extrusion. So we're going to go through and select all of these edges to create a continuous profile. Hit OK. And that brings these lines into our new sketch so we can do a new extrusion. Although this line goes a little bit too far, so we can use our Trim Entities tool. Click Trim Entities. Make sure we're on Power Trim, and then we're going to left click, hold down left click and drag our mouse, and it creates this gray line. Anything that this gray line passes through, it will trim. What that means is trim away everything up until when it meets a node or a point or where it intersects with another line. So that's how we can easily get rid of overhanging bits like that. Hit OK. Now let's go to Features, Extrude. Now we want to extrude this next section to be 18 millimeters. 18 millimeters. Okay. And then I'm going to hide the sketch now that I'm not using it anymore. So under Boss Extrude 1, click on Sketch 1, click Hide. Not using that anymore. Double check that it looks similar to our part. And it does. We just need to add the 2 cylinders on the top. These cylinders are 6 millimeters. And I'll leave you to do this last section on your own. You're going to start a sketch on the top surface of this and sketch it out as shown in the example drawing. Then go into edit the material, set it to be ductile iron. Try to find ductile iron, make sure its density is 7100. And I will show the density of mine at the end, make sure, or the mass of mine at the end to make sure that yours matches it. So pause the video now, try to do it on your own, and in just a second you'll see the mass. Alright, so now that the part is done, under mass properties, it should be 497.3 grams, somewhere in that range. If the decimal is a little bit off, again, that's okay. So just make sure you're somewhere in this range. Alright, see you in the next one.